From cow to curd, the manufacture of cheese has been carried out for thousands of years, and in that time the process of making it has remained relatively the same. It all starts with collecting fresh milk from dairy farms. Whether it's cow or sheep milk, its quality is essential in determining the flavor and texture of the final product. Once the milk is collected, it's transferred into large copper vats, which help with temperature control. Natural whey starter, which contains cultures from the previous day's cheesemaking process, is added to acidify the milk. This step is crucial in developing the cheese's flavor and texture. Next, rennet, an enzyme traditionally sourced from calves' stomachs, is added to coagulate the milk. This causes the proteins to solidify, forming curds. The curds are allowed to sit until they reach a jelly-like consistency. Once the curds have set, they are cut into small pieces using a tool called a spino, resembling a large whisk. The smaller the curd pieces, the drier the final cheese will be, which is important for Parmesan. The curds are then heated to around 55 degrees Celsius in the copper vats. This cooking process helps expel more whey from the curds, which contributes to the cheese's firmness and long shelf life. The heating process is carefully controlled to ensure that the curds do not overcook. After cooking, the curds settle at the bottom of the vat, forming a large mass. The liquid whey is drained off, and the curds are collected into cheesecloth-lined molds to shape them into their characteristic round form. These molds are then placed under a light press for a few hours to remove excess whey and to solidify the shape of the cheese. The pressing stage is crucial in determining the final structure of the cheese, influencing its texture and hardness. Once the curds have been pressed into solid wheels, they are submerged in brine for about 20 to 25 days. This step serves two important purposes. It adds flavor and acts as a preservative. The salt helps develop the cheese's characteristic flavor and creates a natural rind that protects the cheese during aging. After brining, the cheese wheels are transferred to aging rooms where they will mature for at least 12 months. Although many Parmesan cheeses age for up to 24 or even 36 months. The aging process is what gives Parmesan its distinctive, sharp flavor and crumbly texture. During aging, the wheels are placed on wooden shelves and regularly turned to ensure even drying and development. Humidity and temperature in the aging rooms are tightly controlled to prevent spoilage and ensure optimal flavor development. As the cheese ages, it loses moisture, and the flavors become more concentrated. The longer the cheese is aged, the more complex and intense the flavor becomes, developing its signature, nutty, fruity, and slightly granular profile. One of the most important steps in making Parmesan is the rigorous quality inspection process. After 12 months of aging, each wheel is inspected by a trained cheese master or consortio inspector. They use a small hammer to tap the wheel, listening for any imperfections in the structure that could affect the cheese's quality. Wheels that meet the strict standards are branded with the Parmigiano Reggiano mark, certifying their authenticity and quality. If the cheese does not meet these standards, it is either sold as a lower-grade cheese or used for other purposes. Once the cheese has passed inspection and aged to perfection, it is ready for packaging. The large wheels of Parmesan are cut into smaller portions using specialized cutting machines that ensure minimal waste and precision cuts. The cheese is then vacuum sealed or wrapped to preserve its freshness. For large-scale production, factories often automate the cutting and packaging process to meet high demand efficiently while ensuring consistent product quality. And here we have the process of making burger buns. It all begins with selecting high-quality ingredients. The main components of burger buns are flour, water, yeast, sugar, and butter or oil. Once the ingredients arrive, it's time to mix the dough. Large industrial mixers combine ingredients in precise quantities. After mixing, the dough is divided into perfectly portioned pieces. These pieces are shaped into buns using automated machines. At this stage, the buns may also receive a dusting of flour or sesame seeds, depending on the type of burger bun being made. Once shaped, they are sent to the proofing chamber. This is a warm, humid environment where the dough rises for the final time before baking. Next up is the baking process. The buns bake at high temperatures until they turn golden brown. This step requires precise timing and temperature control to ensure that they are perfectly baked. During baking, the yeast creates bubbles in the dough, giving them their signature soft texture. After baking, the buns need to cool down before they can be packaged. They are transferred to cooling racks where fans help bring them to room temperature. Once cooled, they are ready for packaging. In the packaging section, buns are placed into plastic bags or other packaging materials to keep them fresh. Automated packaging machines ensure the process is fast and efficient. From the ocean to the can, the process of making canned tuna involves careful handling, cooking, and preservation to deliver a delicious and safe product to consumers. It all starts at sea, where fishing vessels are equipped with modern technologies to sustainably catch tuna. Once the tuna is caught, it's stored in temperature-controlled holds to keep it fresh during transportation to the factory. Upon arrival at the factory, the tuna is immediately unloaded and sorted based on size and species. This ensures that each batch of canned tuna meets specific quality standards. Next, the tuna is cleaned to remove any scales or impurities. They are thoroughly washed to prepare them for the next stages of production. Once cleaned, the whole tuna is placed into steam chambers or large ovens to be pre-cooked. This step helps to separate the meat from the bones and makes it easier to process. The tuna is cooked at a specific temperature and time to ensure that the meat remains tender while killing any harmful bacteria. After cooking, it's removed from the ovens and cooled down. Factory workers then begin the process of deboning and filleting the fish. This step is crucial for ensuring the tuna is free from bones, skin, or any undesirable parts. Next, the filleted tuna is portioned and placed into cans. Depending on the variety, it may be packed in water, oil, or brine to enhance flavor and shelf life. The liquid not only preserves the tuna, but also keeps it moist and flavorful for consumers. Once the tuna and liquid are packed into cans where they are sealed to lock in freshness. They are then subjected to a high-temperature sterilization process to ensure they are free from bacteria and have a long shelf life. This step is critical for food safety and allows canned tuna to be stored for months without refrigeration. After the sterilization process, the cans are cooled and sent down the line for labeling. Each can is labeled with important information like the type of tuna ingredients and expiration date. Finally, the labeled cans are packed into boxes and prepared for shipment to supermarkets and stores around the world.